Hello Bookstack, welcome to the first meeting of the Bookstack Book Club. Hey guys, as you can see today I'm not in my office at the house with all my awesome bookshelves. I'm actually down in Jacksonville, Florida, my hometown, taking care of some business down here, and went to some leadership conferences. It's really been a good time since we've been down here. I want to start off by saying thanks to everybody that's been subscribing. I've been getting a lot of good feedback from you guys through comments on the videos and shares on Facebook and comments on Facebook, and I really appreciate you guys supporting the show and subscribing, and giving that feedback, because it really does help a lot. Every little thing, things that you like about the videos, the things that you might not like about the videos, or what have you, it all goes to help me ideas for new videos and to make this channel better. So I want to say thanks for everybody out there that's been supporting the show. It's been really great, and it helps a lot. So today we're going to be going over the preface of the book. I wanted to go over just the preface in this first meeting, just because I wanted to give everyone time to get the book and have time to really kind of get caught up. So I don't want to go too far, and at first, because I wanted to make sure everybody was on the same page. I don't want anybody getting left behind, and so literally on the same page. So I appreciate everyone's patience. I know some of you have read ahead, and that's fine, that's cool. I just appreciate you guys keeping up with what's going on and moving along with everybody and providing your input, because even if you guys have read ahead, that's fine. Come back to the channel, watch, come to the meetings, and we're going to be discussing, and we could really use your valuable insight from everyone. All right, so the preface, let's get started. So he talks in the preface about the shifts of reading at that time from fiction to nonfiction. I suppose people were reading more self-help books, they were reading more philosophical books and moving away from fiction, and he said the 70s was deemed the decade of reading, which I think is kind of cool. That might be kind of a neat thing to bring back, to have a decade of reading and not just focus on just kids in high school and middle school reading, but also adults reading as well. Another issue he brings up is speed reading, and he doesn't seem to really bash it, but he does seem to kind of give caution about speed reading, because you can read things too fast or too slow. Like the quote from Pascal: if you read too fast or too slow, you understand nothing. And so he just seems to make sure that you want to read the proper materials at the proper speed, and don't read too fast, but also don't read too slow. And this is something that I kind of ascribe to. People think I'm a fast reader. I'm really not that fast of a reader. I read consistently, so it kind of appears that I'm a fast reader. I don't read a lot per day, but I try to read every day. So I move through a book at a relatively quick pace, but it's only because I read consistently. I read kind of slow because I like to make sure that I'm consuming the details and that I'm not missing and glossing over anything that I don't understand. I want to make sure that I understand fully what I'm reading as I'm reading it, so I kind of read it at my pace. But there is a disadvantage of reading too slow. I find when I read things too slowly, I lose interest and I stop reading. And another thing is I lose, I miss the forest for the trees. If I'm stuck too much on details, I can miss the overarching storyline that the author is trying to construct, and I don't kind of see how that one piece fits into the overall, and I can kind of get lost trying to focus too much on one point. But reading too fast, on the other hand, you can gloss over some details, and when they come in later on in the story, when it comes to be important for you to know that particular piece, and you kind of just read through it really quickly and you don't quite remember, then you're out of luck. You didn't get it. And so I don't try to impress anyone with how many books that I read per year. I do my book stack, just as I said, for my personal, for me personally, I think it's good to read several books a year, but I don't try to read 100 books or 50 books a year. I choose a few important works, and I want to make sure that I read them and I understand them, because at the end of the day, I don't read just to read. I mean, I like to read and I enjoy it, but I also want to grow and learn and understand. So it's important that I read at the pace that allows me to learn and to understand and to read comfortably without taking too long and without reading so fast that I just get lost and I don't understand. So then he goes on to talk about pupils and how they struggle because they are incompetent at getting meaning from the printed page. And I don't think people understand how important that is, especially students, even in your adult life. I've had to take several exams for work that I've done. I've had to pass, tests and get licenses. I have to get meaning from the printed page. You're handed manuals at work. You have to read law books, not law books, but you got to read laws and make sure that you follow them that you understand. You know, when you vote, you have to understand instructions. When you get your driver's license, you have to understand the driver's manual. There's a lot that you still have to read and understand if you're going to succeed and progress in this world. He talks about students who go on to college and they're still incompetent readers. I've given several books to friends that were written on a 9th and 10th grade level that they've struggled with reading. And I tell them, you know, you understand that this is a 10th grade reading level. You know, you really should be able to read this material, and it really shouldn't be difficult for you. Why don't we go through this together? I love reading books with friends, and that's part of the reason why I started this channel, is reading books with people. So not only can, if they need help, I can help them. If I need help, they can help me. And the other thing is the conversation that happens as we read. We get to discuss these ideas and go back and forth. Which brings me to the quote from The Failure of Schools that he put in the book, and I kind of want to read that quote. It says, he can follow a simple piece of fiction and enjoy it, but put him up against a closely written exposition, a carefully and economically stated argument, or a passage requiring critical consideration, and he is at a loss. And this was another motivation for the creation of this channel. A lot of people I know have trouble reasoning through arguments and being able to process information. So not only did I want to get people reading again, but I also wanted to help us learn how to think and to handle arguments and handle information. Especially in the political season that we're in, there's a lot of statements that are made that aren't necessarily true, and some people lack the knowledge to know whether or not they're true, but some people lack the logical ability to reason through an argument to see if it even makes sense. So that was another kind of motivation, a thing that I wanted to do, because as we read and we discuss ideas, I want there to be a discussion, and I want there to be where we're talking about these ideas on an intellectual level. So the rest of the book, or the rest of the preface, he talks about the order of the book. He talks about the pyramid of books. He talks about the analytical reading. He talks about the topical reading. And he talks about just the general organization and the things that are new in this edition as opposed to the old edition, which I haven't read the old edition, so I've only read this one, so I'm really not too concerned with how they compare. But I can tell you, I've been reading a lot of this, and it really is a great work. I've been enjoying learning and reading. The part that I'm in, he's talking about how to use a dictionary, which I never would have thought would need to be explained, but apparently it does, and I'm learning a lot that I didn't know, and I never would even thought to learn. So that's why I'm really enjoying this book, because it's teaching me things I didn't even know I needed to know. And so I'm not embarrassed as much as I read, as long as I've been reading. I'm not embarrassed to read a book called How to Read a Book. I want to become a better reader, and that's what I want us all to do. So those of you who read all the time, I'm sure you're finding a lot that you didn't know that you're probably learning. And those of you who don't read all the time, hey, you're learning the best way to start and to move forward. So what I'd like to do tonight, actually this afternoon, I would like for us, or I want to do it at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'd like for us to do a meetup on, it's an app or an application called Zoom. You can look it up, you can get it on your computer, you can get it on your iPhone or Android, and it's just kind of a conference room type app, and it'll allow all of us to sign in, and you know, there'll be videos so we can all see each other and we can kind of discuss these ideas. And so we're going to just be discussing the preface and be kind of talking about the channel in general. I'd love for you all to be able to join me. If you follow me on Twitter at @mybookstack, I'm going to send out the meeting ID. It'll also be on Facebook. My name is Joshua Hansen. You can follow me on Facebook, and I'm going to put that meeting ID out there so you can find that ID, put it into your Zoom application, and it'll bring you right into the meeting room. And you'll come right in video. You'll be able to see me and all the other book stackers, and we'll be having a conversation about the preface. Again, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard. I'm hoping that's kind of like, maybe you have lunch plans, so it's a little after lunch. Maybe you have dinner plans, so this is not quite dinner time. So it's like, I feel like it was kind of a nice sweet spot right there in the afternoon where hopefully you're home. You know, we'll be on for maybe 30, 45 minutes. There's actually a 45-minute limit on the Zoom meeting app, so it's not going to be longer than that. So I hope to see everyone there, and I want to say, you know, I really appreciate you guys sharing these videos with your friends on Facebook. If you like the videos, share them with your friends, try to bring people in. That's the kind of, I want it to kind of be spread word of mouth and organically, and I want you to share with people that you would like to read these books with, because that's the idea, that we all kind of come together and do it as a group. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video, and I'll see you this afternoon.